And welcome back to Bobcats Weekly. We welcome in Becky Carlson, the newest member to the National Championship Club. And Becky, we talked a little bit about this last week. This is the inaugural National Championship for varsity rugby. Now that you've had time to really digest this championship, what does it mean to you at this point?
I think there's a lot of pride that's brought home to Quinnipiac, and I think it's an amazing feeling, and I know the team is really feeling it. And when we get back from break, it'll give us a chance to take a deep breath and look at this a couple more times and then enjoy it.
You had a lot of great individual performances this weekend, but only one was the most valuable player of the tournament. Could you talk about that for a minute?
Yes, our scrum half, Mason Johnson, was absolutely flawless in the finals game, and that selection was no surprise. When you think about the conditions and how the scrum half needs to be in the rain, and those passes were absolutely flawless, and there was a lot of adversity there with an injury, so Mason was phenomenal.
And final question, you talked about how this was a showcase for women's rugby. Now seeing the success of this tournament, do you think it's done its job?
I think it has. I think this is only going to go up from here, and I think that the exposure for varsity rugby is going to be a very positive thing for the women's game.
There's been a lot of great nicknames associated with your team, the Cardiac Cats, the Comeback Cats. You've been great at coming from behind to win games this year. What does that say about the makeup of your team, that you have that ability to come back and win games?
Yeah, we're definitely a resilient team. We keep our composure all the time on the field.
Quinnipiac cannot afford a slow start against BC. They're the best team in the country in scoring in the first period, scoring 148 goals in the first 20 minutes. BC not only can take the lead, but can hold it. Bobcats will need to try and slow down one of college hockey's best all-around players in Ryan Fitzgerald, whose 23-point goals and 23 assists lead Boston College attack, while freshman Colin Andrew has been another offensive threat with 19 goals this season. Demko, you can see in this graphic that they both have similar stats between Gartig and Demko. Gartig has won more games this season, but you look at the other stats too. Gartig and Demko are similar in shutouts, similar in goals against average. However, Demko does have a slight advantage in save percentage. The question is, when you look at these two goaltenders, is they are without question two of the best goaltenders in the country. However, I think Gartig's playing his best hockey right now. And you look, these two goaltenders, they have a flair for the dramatic. They make big time saves when it counts, and they make some of the most acrobatic saves you will ever see. And you look at Demko especially, using 6'4" frame, really good at getting down and covering the ice, but Gartig's a little bit different. He's a little bit quicker, can get in between the posts a little bit quicker. The thing with Demko is, and one thing I think Gartig does better, is Gartig really is great at covering up that first shot. Demko has a tendency to kick it out and leave some rebounds around the net, which Quinnipiac can take advantage of. And I really do think that this game will come down to which goaltender plays the best. And right now, I think Michael Gartig is doing that right now, only allowing 2 goals in the past 4 games. Welcome to the Bobcats Weekly Lounge. Joining us now is a goaltender with 12 shutouts this season, and who has been a catalyst in Quinnipiac's record 20-game unbeaten streak. Please welcome Sydney Rossman. Thank you for joining us today,
Thank you
Sydney.
for having me.
So, Sydney, you had some big skates to fill, replacing Chelsea Layden after last season. What was that process like for you?
Obviously, Chelsea was great for us last year, but I think coming into this year, it wasn't so much about setting records, but trying to just get our team the win each day.
So you're on a 20-game unbeaten streak, and you've beaten Harvard. You swept the season series versus them for the first time in history. What has been the key to your success this season?
I think one of the main keys is team defense. It's something we focus on.
You guys had a fantastic week last week, finishing second in the New England Championships. Can you tell us what that was like for you and your teammates?
It was an awesome experience. Last year we placed 6th, so we kind of went into this race with knowing we had the potential to do really well. So getting that second place trophy was a great feeling, and especially going into MAC season, it was good confidence for our team.
You've had a huge impact on the field all season long, but you really have impacted this community off the field as well on Halloween this past year. Could you please tell people what you did this past Halloween?
Yeah, so for my entrepreneurship class, we created a Halloween costume for Kendall Pallone in a wheelchair. She has a Cinderella carriage now. It was me, Kevin Smoller, and Phil Santiampo.
And what inspired you to do that, and what was her reaction to you guys doing this?
I guess it's just finding a greater cause in the community and doing something that's going to benefit someone else and seeing a smile on someone else's face, not just, creating a potential mock-up plan. I wanted to go out and make a difference and make an impact on one person's life. It was just really satisfying to see that, you know, she loved the costume and she lit up, and to have the experience that other kids do of trick-or-treating, it was one of my favorite things. I love candy, so it was really nice to see her trick-or-treating down the quad and all the support she got from athletes and fellow students here. It was really satisfying feeling.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. You've really inspired not only your teammates on the field, but this whole Quinnipiac community as well. Thank you for joining us today.
No problem. Thanks.
Joining me is Nolan Rich. Nolan, it's been quite the season.
It has. There's been so many memorable moments and, of course, great team accomplishments. But let's get into it. Alexa, are you ready to take this countdown down?
Let's go.
Number 4, Nadia Gill's game winner versus Monmouth. The Hawks had only 2 conference regular season losses in 3 years. Gill had 5 game-winning goals as a freshman, won the MAC Rookie of the Year, and finished the season with 8 goals. 2015 was a year to remember, and there were countless top plays made by Quinnipiac athletes, but one stood above the rest. That honor goes to Michael Gartig, who made this unbelievable stick save. Check it out again. Michael Gartig using the paddle to pull the puck out of the net and into his catching glove. And watch it on the overhead again. I don't know how, Alexa, he keeps this from going over the line. But I'll tell you what, Alexa, after watching this, I am convinced that 2/3 of this plant is covered by water and the other third is covered by Michael Gartig.